From James M. Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University, Landers Sports Productions, in conjunction with Telecare, presents the high school game of the week. Tonight, it's the Nassau County Class B Championship. The two-time defending champion Garden City Trojans, with a record of 14-4, the number 3 seed, taking on the Southside Cyclones with a record of 15-3, the number 1 seed. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Barry Landers, along with Kerry Gluck on my left and Art Kaminsky on my right, on a very pleasant evening for lacrosse. And for Garden City, an unusual position, Art Kaminsky. We mentioned that two-time defending champion. This will be the 6th appearance in the last 7 years in the championship, but they come into this game underdogs after losing to Southside by a goal earlier this year.
Well, it is a weird position. Ironically, they're ranked 11th in the country by Lax Power, and along with Manhasset, they have one of the two great, outstanding lifetime, going back to the 1930s records in Nassau County lacrosse, but they do come in as the underdog. But nonetheless, defense has been the key for them, and the key to the defense has been Gavin Crisafulli.
What do you like about him?
Big, strong, 3rd year on the varsity, 2-year starter, very mobile, smart, going to Hopkins like his brother did, made a huge play in a big victory against Georgetown Prep, Washington, D.C. area power. He's a key guy who comes up big in big games.
Well, Garden City doesn't have the firepower, but they have a knack of coming up big in big games, Kerry. And for Southside, they had a very interesting last game against Wantagh. They trailed in that game 12-8. They have scored 30 goals in the 2 playoff games. They could score with anybody on Long Island or maybe already in the country. What can we expect from them tonight?
Well, I think you can expect a very high-scoring offensive power from this Southside team between O'Reilly and Smith and Ahern. They are capable of putting a lot of points up on the board. But the key in this game is going to be the face-off kid, Colin Serling. He had a remarkable game against Wantagh, winning 22 out of 26 face-offs. He is just outstanding. He carries them right on his shoulders. He scored 40 goals in addition to his facing off at 70%, and he is an excellent shooter. He's got great speed. He's going to be the key, I think, for controlling the tempo of this game for Garden City.
And it was Colin Serling who scored the game-winning goal with 1 second left to give Southside its first ever win over Garden City in 17 tries. We'll be back with Ralph Benarchik to talk to the coaches when we return on the high school game of the week. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Long Island Railroad, going your way, by Wachovia Securities in Garden City and Huntington, by Landtech, providing field turf field for schools on Long Island, by Orthopedic Excellence of Long Island in Garden City and Rockville Center, by Esquire Bank, Old Country Road, Garden City. Great rates, great service, great people. Long Island's newest bank. By Lacrosse Unlimited, with 7 stores on Long Island, including Rockville Center, East Meadow, and Manhasset. By STX, for the finest gear in the game. By the Long Island Lizards. Check their website for upcoming games. By Design Expressions, celebrating their grand opening June 28th at 389 Atlantic Avenue, Oceanside.
On the high school game of the week, we're back at Hofstra University, Stewart Stadium. This is the Nassau County Class B Championship game, and to my left, Steve DiPietro, first-year head coach of the Southside Cyclones. What a season it's already been so far, Coach. 15-3, and one of the landmark things you're able to accomplish this year is defeating Garden City for the first time in program history. What is your team's sense of confidence like, and the coaching staff's sense of confidence like, heading into this matchup this time?
Obviously, Garden City is a tremendous program. They've beaten us every time prior to this year. So to get that first win, was a huge win for our program. And just for the kids to know that they actually can be beaten. Going into this game, they're extremely well coached. They have a very good team. The last game was a 1-goal game. So, they know if we don't play well, they're capable of beating us and, just as capable as we are of beating them. So I think it's going to be a great game.
One advantage you may have is your face-off man, Colin Serling, as well as the other midfielders have been outstanding on the wings and on draws. How would that factor into a critical game like this one?
Colin's been an absolute warrior for us all year long. I mean, I think he's averaging 69% of his face-offs over the course of the season against some quality teams, and he did very well against Garden City last time we played, so we're hoping that continues. I'm sure they're going to try and account for him to do something differently to get the draws away from him.
There's always that old adage, defense wins championships, but your team is more offensive oriented. How do you make this one be offense wins championships?
Again, we're very confident offensively that we can put the ball on the net. McCullough's an extremely good goalie, so it's not going to be easy. And obviously, their defense is, one of the best on the island. But we take pride in our offense. We've been averaging about 13 goals a game, and they look at it as a challenge. They know how good of a team Garden City is, but you know what? They're hungry. The kids are hungry. They've worked hard, and they think it's their time. So they're looking forward to it.
All right, it could be your time. First-year head coach Steve DiPietro, thanks for the time. He's seeking his first Nassau County Class B championship with the Cyclones taking on Garden City as high school game of the week will continue.
Today's game is also brought to you by New York Life, Long Island office. Are you looking for a career change? Call Sal Farina at 631-331-2901. By Briarcliff College with campuses in Bethpage and Patchogue. By Sports Set of Rockville Center on Maple Avenue. By Accent and Eyes, South Park Street, Rockville Center. By Advanced Formal Wear, Sunrise Highway, Rockville Center. By Garden City Pizza, Franklin Avenue, Garden City. By Twin Park Fitness Center, Jericho Turnpike, New Hyde Park. By Ray's Tuxedos, Franklin Avenue, Franklin Square. And by the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Foundation.
At Stewart Stadium, site of the Nassau County Class B Championships, I'm Ralph Benarchik. Garden City and Southside, here is the matchup. This is Steve Fennell, head coach of his second season of the Trojans. You met Southside earlier this year, and for the first time in their program history, they were able to pick up a win over you. This might be a very confident team you're facing. How does that factor in now that maybe this Garden City giant that they were trying to slay, they finally got in the regular season? How does that maybe factor in today?
They're a great program. It was going to happen at some point. They do a great job. They have the best offense in the county. I'm pretty confident in that. I think we have a very good defense, so I think it should be a great matchup today.
Yeah, I think you illustrated it well there. Offense versus defense here. Southside has scored 30 goals in their first two playoff games. What does your defense have to do? Defense wins championship. What does your defense have to do to win that title?
We're going to have to slow them down. We're going to have to be patient on the offensive end, and we're going to have to not give them clean looks at the cage, try to give them some poor angle shots, which I think Brian McCullough is an excellent goalie, and hopefully make some big saves for us today.
All right, Steve Fennell looking to put Garden City, again, another county championship. We'll come back and speak to Steve DiPietro of Southside as the Telecare Game of the Week continues.
Lacrosse Unlimited is the largest lacrosse retailer in the world. Your game deserves more than a hut or a den. 7 stores conveniently located on Long Island: Manhasset, Rockville Center, East Meadow, Babylon, Huntington, Hauppauge, and Miller Place. All locations open every day and lacrosse only all year long. Extended hours all season long, so shop when you want to shop. Open until 9 p.m. every night after you practice. All equipment we sell is backed with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. We're an authorized dealer for Warrior, STX, Brine, Gate, Maverick, Cascade, and many more. Lacrosse Unlimited is Long Island's only lacrosse retailer of the new Nike lacrosse cleats and licensed apparel. So shop online at www.lacrosseunlimited.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or visit one of our 7 Long Island stores.
Hey lacrosse fans, it's time to go green. Once again, the best players in the world and the best fans in the world get to come together for another great season of Long Island Lizards lacrosse. Whether you join us in our on-field VIP experience, our new Lizard Club seats, our birthday party zone, or for our post-game autograph session, just make sure you bring the whole family for lots of affordable, fun, high-scoring action. Tickets are on sale now at lizardlax.com or call us at 866-LIZARD1. The best fans, the best players, the best time. Lizards 2008.
We are back as the Nassau County Class B Championship just about underway. Joe Oliva on the face-off with Colin Serling. And As you mentioned, Kerry, that will be very important. Garden City coming up with the ball. Olive has done an excellent job all year, but he's going up against one of the best on Long Island and maybe one of the best in the country. And now we'll see Garden City probably show a lot of patience on offense. They want to hold on to the ball as often. 25 is Francis McDonough, a key in the midfield along with Danny Savage. They're two big Division I players. Savage going to Penn, McDonough to Georgetown.
Absolutely, they are certainly two of the top prospects in Nassau County, without a doubt.
And they'll get the first shot off, and a save made by Ryan Alexander. That first opportunity from Tommy Gordon, the freshman. Kerry, was interesting in the last game, a game we also televised against Plain Edge, that it was the unsung guys like John Muscarella and Brendan Carroll coming up with big goals. The big guys, Savage and McDonough, were hardly noticeable offensively in that game.
But defenses are attracted to the big guns, and when that happens, other guys have to step it up and have to play their A game, and that's exactly what happened in the last contest.
A good shot right on that time, taken by number 12, and that was Danny Savage. And here's what they love to do, Southside. They love the transition. We'll set them as they go here. And they love to push the ball upfield. And right now on attack is Nick O'Reilly. He's a junior, verbally committed to Virginia. He's number 9. Number 2 is Pat Tye. Terrific midfielder who had 5 goals against Garden City in their victory earlier this year. That 1-goal victory in the closing seconds, as Colin Serling gave them their first ever win. So it's Nick O'Reilly 9, Kyle Smith 15. He's a finisher with 45 goals this year. Gavin Ahern, sophomore, plays on the attack also. He's number 16, and he just gave the ball up. Coming around now, looking for help. O'Reilly back outside. Number 2 is Pat Tye. He's just a senior. He'll be going to Adelphi, and they really have a good one in him, Kerry.
Absolutely they do, Barry. With 28 goals on the season, you see he's got the ball in the stick right there, hung it a little bit, and allowed the defenseman McDonough to be able to check it.
I think that O'Reilly...
Up top they go to the man we highlighted, Colin Serling, with his 41st goal to give him the early 1-0 lead.
Well, that was just a great look coming from behind to find Serling up top and get the early goal for Southside.
So Serling, who could do it all. We'll watch it here again. The feed from O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's a nice look by O'Reilly. See how his head is up the whole time, and he puts the ball right on the money of Colin Serling. The 5'8", only 158, 165 is Serling, but he shoots like he's a much bigger player.
Face-off's critical, and Serling wins this one easily.
I think Serling, Smith, and O'Reilly are the best troika in all of Nassau County lacrosse. The most high-powered threesome, the biggest scorers, best all-around players on one team.
Well, Kerry, if you remember back in 04 when they won the Nassau County Championship, they had a lot of firepower then. O'Reilly knocked away. They beat Bethpage for the county championship. Oh, Serling was open on the doorstep, but the pass went awry. And that year they beat Bethpage, beat Shore Wading River, went on to beat Yorktown in the downstate championship and finished it up with a victory over Corning East to win that title.
Yeah, that was quite a run they had, Barry, and they're very capable of getting onto those kind of runs because they have the players that can do it.
Yeah, the only close game that year was the Bethpage, the county final, 12-11, a great game. Most of us felt either one of those teams would have gone on to win the state championship, and Southside just sailed through the playoffs, even beating Yorktown, traditional power, by a ton of goals. They were great that year.
First time these two teams played, Garden City fell behind, made a nice run, scored 5 in the fourth quarter. McDonough's second goal of the game tied it with 1:18 to go to set the stage, of course, for Colin Serling's dramatic goal with 1 second left. Here's Will Fuller with 24 goals. He's a junior, first-year starter on attack. He's number 8. They've made some changes. Here's Savage sweeping to his left. Check from behind. We'll set the matchups there as he was working against Chris Berry, I believe. Now working it back outside. Savage getting in. Check from behind. Good job, Berry, getting help there, Kerry.
Absolutely. I thought Southside did a great job, Barry, in getting the switch, getting the Berry, the pole on Savage when he had possession. He started off with the short stick, and Berry came out and they got the switch, and now he had to face the pole.
Timmy Krutzler will work it in behind to O'Reilly. They make a change on the fly. Southside will send another player on for
the midfield here.
Let's put Southside's 50.
Oh, my.
Nice score.
What a goal. And it came off the stick of Kyle Smith. We told you he's got a finisher, one of the hardest shots on Long Island.
Well, now you see why he is an all-county player. He does a great job. He attacks the goal from X, and he look at him right here. Changes stick, puts it in the inside roll move, and he comes underhanded, and he beats one of the best defensemen going in Gavin Crisafulli.
Now I think that two of those three, maybe all three, of the Southside Troika are going to be All-Americans this year. Let's put their record in perspective. They're 15-3. They were 0-2 to start the season, losing to Manhasset in overtime and then to Cold Spring Harbor. Then they kind of righted the ship. They had new coaching this year, and they went on a big run.
Well, let me correct you, Art. They did lose to Manhasset 14-13 in overtime, I believe. Then lost to Syosset in their second game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Later lost to Cold Spring Harbor 10-9.
Later in the season.
So
right.
all three losses by 1 goal, Kerry.
And all early in the season, relatively.
Right, separating them from an 18-0 record coming in. But right now it's Garden City with possession. They've got to take advantage, and they will. Will Fuller coming up to make it a 2-1 game.
Well, there is Will Fuller doing what a good lacrosse player does, backing up the pass. The pass was not a great pass. It was low, and it got past the initial target. Will Fuller in the backup position comes up with the ball and finds himself in a great position to shoot the ball. Here's the pass. It's going to come from behind the cage. Now watch the pass, and you see how low it is, but there's Fuller, unless that was an intended bounce pass, which I don't think it was. Fuller is able to capitalize on that, and he's a big, strong attackman at 6'2", 215.
All right, Joe Oliva comes up with a big face-off win there. He's a terrific face-off guy in his own right, and they needed to go 50-50, they felt, to have a chance. And now Garden City down a goal, working it to Fuller. For Fuller, that was his 25th goal of the year.
Yeah, we've kind of been waiting for Fuller. He was a big star in PAL, middle school, JV. Surprisingly, didn't make the varsity as a ninth grader or a 10th grader. This year is his first year to make an impact. He's got great lacrosse lineage. His grandpa was a 3-time All-American, I think, at Syracuse. His dad played for Garden City. He's going to be even more powerful next year.
All right, Southside brings it down. Our officials, we've got an outstanding crew. The referee, Joe Resin Pollock. The umpire, Tim Murray. Field judge, Neil Varicchio. And working the box, Jim Howell. So right now it's 6:15 to go in this opening quarter. And Southside with the ball, leading 2-1. Of course, Garden City, the 2-time defending champions, 1 in 05 and 1 in 06. I checked at 06 and 07. 05, of course, Hewlett led by Max Siebold, the great Cornell star, led them to a championship, beat Garden City in the rain, Kerry. Remember that game? We televised that game, pouring downpour, but Max Siebold was unbelievable at face-offs and coming up with big goals in that game.
Well, he had beaten them in the regular. Whoop, there's another goal.
All right, from up top they score to make it a 3-1 game. And right now, Kerry, they've upped the lead with that goal right there. Mark Queso coming up with the goal.
Well, Mark Queso gets the real good look on the assist, and I believe that was Ahern that came in with the goal. But you got to give credit to Queso. Watch it, his ball would be, there's the shot by Ahern winding up. Now what happened was Queso has the ball, and Ahern's man goes over to double up on the ball, leaving Ahern wide open, and that sophomore has a hard left-handed shot. And the second slide just didn't make it to Ahern.
O'Reilly hammered from behind as he came up with the ball, and we're going to get a call made here by Tim Murray. And we'll step out, a break in the action, and the ball turning over now when we return on the high school game of the week.
Esquire Bank in Garden City. Great rates, great service, great people to serve all your banking needs. Located on Old Country Road east of Roslyn Road, Esquire Bank offers a full range of commercial and personal banking services. Take advantage of Esquire Bank's Garden City branch grand opening special that includes free ATM access and refunds on domestic, out-of-network transactions, a free debit MasterCard, free internet banking and bills pay, and very attractive CD rates. Esquire Bank in Garden City. Go to esquirebank.com for more information. Esquire Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Would you love to be a graphic designer? Briarcliff College has the program for you.
Thinking of a career in criminal justice? Call Briarcliff College today and find out how.
Briarcliff College has the business programs to teach you the skills you need.
Call Briarcliff College today to find out how you can prepare for a rewarding career.
Classes begin soon. Call 1-888-773-1999 or visit bcl.edu to find out more. Briarcliff College. Go far.
Accent on Eyes, located at 28 South Park Avenue in Rockville Center, is proud to sponsor tonight's game. Accent on Eyes offers the latest in designer eyewear and sunwear, featuring Oakley, Maui Jim, Ray-Ban, Chanel, Prada, Gucci, Ed Hardy, Vera Bradley, and Tiffany. Prescription sports goggles and rec specs are also available, with lenses that change color for indoor-outdoor use. At XN on Eyes, you can order contact lenses at highly competitive prices, and we carry a wide selection of virtually unbreakable kids' frames. We're open 6 days a week, and our friendly and knowledgeable staff is always here to make people happy and to see better. XN on Eyes wishes both teams good luck in tonight's game.
Oh, there's a collision. And quite a big collision right there, Kerry.
That was the push call against Francis McDonough, the big midfielder for Garden City, going into the penalty box.
And they score very quickly as they beat Brian McCullough. Nick O'Reilly with the goal.
Well, that was just a hard shot by Nick O'Reilly, the All-County nominee for All-American, sitting up top on the extra man situation, and has a real good look at the cage as to whether or not he's going to be able to fire that ball, and he just lets it rip, and it just goes right by McCullough from Garden City.
42nd goal of the year for Nick O'Reilly. You know, they've got two guys in the 40, three guys over 40 goals apiece between Serling, Smith, and O'Reilly. And Gavin Ahern, who scored earlier, all he has is 28 goals, the sophomore.
You know, that's the beauty of the Southside team, the balance. When we see a player down, I wonder if that's Colin Serling off the faceoff.
And very quickly they run out of the field to check him out. And we will step out. It is number 2 for Southside who is down. That is Pat Tye. We'll step out with the score 4-1 in favor of Southside. 5:12 to go in the opening quarter.
Every year, about 350 men, women, and children are killed in railroad accidents nationwide. Another 1,000 are injured. Pretty disturbing, especially if you consider how easily preventable all those deaths could have been. Just use common sense. Don't walk or drive around lowered grade crossing gates. Remember, trains are fast and can't stop quickly. You may think you know when a train is coming, but don't count on it.
Orthopedic Excellence of Long Island, 601 Franklin Avenue in Garden City and 2000 North Village Avenue in Rockville Center is proud to sponsor today's game. Our team of Dr. Leo Variali, Doug Grodons, and Tony Mara, along with Director of Physical Therapy Glenn Carlin, has years of experience in the field. Dr. Variali has over 20 years of sports medicine experience as a doctor for Hofstra and Adelphi University's athletic teams, as well as many high school teams. Our state-of-the-art physical therapy center with MRI capability treats many high school and college athletes. Our medical staff specializes in treating knee and shoulder injuries and will help you get back on the field as soon as possible. Walk-ins welcome in the Garden City office. Orthopedic Excellence of Long Island in Garden City. Call 248-1314. In Rockville Center, call 678-2232.
So, how much you got, Reach?
No, at least 100. What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
Oh, I just had some loose change.
Excuse me, Mr. Philbin, here's your receipt and your free Visa check card. Okay, thanks.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, loose change, huh?
A man can only hear reach, try commerce so many times.
So I was right about this place.
Yes, you were right.
There's no place like commerce. Experience America's most convenient bank.
Pat Tye, the injured player, coming off the field, apparently okay, but carried that off the face-off. He got hurt as he was playing on the wing.
Well, there you'll see Colin Serling off the face-off. That's why I thought it was him initially, but here's the hit that he takes. That's Pat Tye right there in the middle of your picture, and you see him going down. and I believe, I'm not sure who did put the hit on him. I believe it might have been number 12 for Garden City. That's Savage, who put the hit on Pat Dye.
So Pat Dye comes out, and 5:12 to go. Want to thank our sponsors for joining us today. Commerce Bank with their big golf tournament coming up June 27th through the 29th. And also want to thank Ray's Tuxedos, Franklin Avenue and Franklin Square. Twin Park Fitness Center, Jericho Turnpike, New Hyde Park. Garden City Pizza, they make great pizza on Franklin Avenue in Garden City. Advanced Formal Wear, Sunrise Highway, Rockville Center. Accent and Eyes also in Rockville Center. And Sports Set of Rockville Center, some of our sponsors bringing you today's game.
You know, we said from the beginning that the firepower that Southside has is unparalleled, and so far they've demonstrated. Unless Garden City can get the ball out of their hands, the fact that Garden City plays excellent defense just may not be enough. They just shoot the ball so well, Garden City.
Well, we mentioned
Southside.
30 goals in the first 2 games. Nobody has been able to stop them. The ball kicked around, looking for turnover and transition. They whack away at it, and Garden City's Savage comes up with the ball. Danny headed to Penn. Terrific football player, running back for Garden City's team. He's a 3-year lacrosse starter. Moved to Garden City in middle school. I believe he came from Franklin Square, in Floral Park, rather.
Right.
And here is Danny, swinging it behind. Give you those defensive matchups in a moment. Fuller in behind. 10 running the show is Muscarella from behind. And that quick stick shot goes wide. They did have backup. Savage taking that last shot.
A nice look, too, by Savage. And you'll notice, I think, Garden City moving the ball very well and very patiently and looking to take the good shot, because they know that Ryan Alexander is one of the better goalies going. But one of the things I think that they did not adjust to initially, Barry, is the fact that Alexander is a lefty. And the first couple of shots taken by Garden City were all on the stick side. So that's going to be an adjustment they're going to have to make.
Well, it was kind of interesting that Steve DiPietro made a goaltending change. Dominic Pacelli, they've been basically alternating starting games. Pacelli started the last game and had a lot of trouble, giving up 12 goals in the first quarter, in the first half, Carey. Made only 4 saves. He made the goaltending change. Obviously, the team continued offensively to score, but Ryan Alexander held him to 1 goal in the second half and had about 5 saves as well.
Well, he stepped up in a very critical situation for Southside.
Right now, Garden City looking for an opportunity. McDonough playing up top, recovers that loose ball. On the wing, working it around, that's Tommy Gordon. He's going to be a terrific player. He's just a freshman. McDonough will take the shot and beat Ryan Alexander.
Well, that was just a nicely done move by Francis McDonough. He does a nice little face dodge, tries to get himself free, creates some space between he and the defenseman on the pole playing against him, and he has a great shot. And there you see it. There's McDonough right in the middle of your picture. There's the little bull dodge move, and then he rolls back to his right hand, and the defenseman is trailing him. That's Ryan O'Hagan, the pole that they had up on McDonough, who trailed him by about 2 steps, but that's all that Francis McDonough needs to be able to get a good look at the cage.
Oliva's done a good job on face-offs, and now Serling called for the violation. So Garden City has won 5 of the 7, including a couple of infractions off the face-off, and Oliva uncharacteristically goes to the goal. Usually he comes off, but he had a good opportunity and took the shot there. Joe with 3 goals and 3 assists, Art.
You know, in the semifinal against Plain Edge, Garden City got a lot of production out of Carroll, out of Muscarella, out of Tom Gordon, the freshman, as opposed to their usual big point guys, Savage, Fuller, and McDonough. Be interesting to see if they can get production out of those 3 newer guys, less heralded guys in this game. Might make the difference for them against powerful Southside.
They're running a second midfield. Steve Huckey, number 29, is on in that midfield grouping. And we'll pick up some of the other changes as well. They'll bring it back outside over the head of the Garden City player. And the ball trying to be recovered, and it will be by Garden City. Taking this shot is Vin Chiodo, number 24, missing the cage. He's had 3 goals. He's a junior, a tough kid, and missing the opportunity
I know
there.
Vinny well, very speedy, also takes face-offs, real hustler, works hard. He can energize a team. He's a good guy to have out there in big games
Steve
like this.
Huckey headed to Scranton, took that last shot. Let's go to our resident expert, Alan Hodish, who's been watching the game here in the booth with us. Alan, your take on the first 10 minutes of play.
Yeah, well, Barry, Garden City's doing exactly what they should be doing. They're moving the ball around, looking for opportunities. It might be a little tough for them to run with Southside. Southside seems to be a little more explosive. So this is a good strategy for the Garden City group.
But you know, one of the keys, really, and we haven't mentioned it yet, was the loss of Kevin Rose, the senior who's headed to Stevens Tech in Hoboken, tore his ACL against Hewlett not long ago, had the game-winning goal in the 8-7 win over Georgetown Prep, had scored some really big goals. He's a solid two-way midi, and particularly defensively, and that's been a big loss to them, Kerry.
Absolutely. You know, a player like Kevin Rose, rather, you know, is very important to a team. He's a very energetic player at the midfield. He does everything well, and you know, you'd hate to see anyone go out with an injury and miss this critical part of their senior year.
Kind of interesting, the Southside fans below us starting to boo because they're not being aggressive going to the cage here. They want to see a fast-paced, high-scoring game, Alan.
They give Garden City credit. You know, they certainly are not going to be dissuaded by this crowd. They're doing what they need to do. They need to pick their spots, move the ball, and look for the good opportunities.
And we're down to 45 seconds. They get a little stall warning here by our officials. Well, they take it to the cage. That shot blocked. Take it from the outside that time. And taking the last shot was Brendan Carroll. He's a guy that has to step up. He's a senior, and he was hurt a good part of the year, and just back recently, Kerry.
Right, he's only been back for about 4 games, Barry, and he was instrumental in their last game that when they played, and we got a timeout called for by Garden City. To, you know, let's see what we can throw at them after the timeout.
He's had 4 goals and an assist, 5 points in the playoffs, had 2 against Plain Edge and 2 and 1 against Kerry. Timeout on the field, will step out. 26 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And you're looking at the Southside Club, and the Cyclones lead it 4-2. We'll be right back. Yes.
With, an unassuming word that holds so much meaning. The moment you add with, a bond is created. I'm with Child. She's with me. We're with the band. Our financial advisors champion with, because we're fully invested in your success. Search for those who value with. We did. A.G. Edwards is now with Wachovia Securities. Let's see what with can do for you.
Advanced Formal Wear, located at 234 Sunrise Highway in Rockville Center, is proud to sponsor tonight's game. Advanced Formal Wear carries all major designers in stock, with thousands of tuxedos and accessories to choose from. With the prom coming up, we offer great discounts on all styles of tuxes. Advanced Formal Wear can handle any wedding party with ease. We also handle all other occasions, such as bar mitzvahs or corporate functions. For more information, we invite you to stop by, or if you can, check us out on the web at www.advancedformalwear.com. Sports Ed of Rockville Center is a multi-sport fitness club for the entire family. Whether our members are simply here to get in shape, train hard for an event, or enjoy our variety of recreational activities, this is a place for everybody. Sports Ed of Rockville Center is also proud to introduce The Field. The Field at Sports Ed is a 5,000 square foot unobstructed synthetic turf playing surface, available for activities such as soccer, football, lacrosse, speed training, dodgeball, parties, and more. We're located at 60 Maple Avenue in Rockville Center. For more information on our membership and to learn more about The Field at Sports Ed, give us a call at 516-536-8700. Sports Ed of Rockville Center wishes both teams good luck in tonight's game.
Nassau County Class B Championship. It's warm enough for that little guy not to have a